What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I'm your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined by the man that is crippling all books around the nation, Midwest Mike. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good.
Hell yeah.
Book send. I mean, he's having a hard time sending the money this week. Come on now.
I know. I got the text. Got crushed. Got crushed.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. We got Big Mike in the house already. What up, Big Mike? How was your time in Tampa, my man? We are still waiting confirmation if we're even going to be able to go with the damn hurricane going on this week. I hope it.
I looked. The weather's supposed to be good Sunday.
Yeah,
no rain or nothing.
I think they're worried about potential flooding or damage.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're evacuating and everything.
But I think it was supposed to hit
be open
last night or this morning. So,
yeah. I don't know, but I hope we can still go. If not, we will be taking.
Well, we're not flying in till Sunday at least. It's
right. Which that's good. And if we don't get the chance, we'll maybe still go to this game whenever it gets rescheduled with Juan, or he'll pick a different one just so if anybody wants to know what we're going to do with that. But how you feeling, Mike? I mean, last night we dropped the only play, and it was right there until the end. But other than that, man, I mean, you've been hot, bro.
Yeah. Let's look at the NFL straights.
Yeah.
We obviously had our best week ever, week 3, 18.45. And then after you factor in the 35 units in NFL parlays, on Sunday, I mean, we're talking, over 50 unit NFL week 3.
Insane, man.
And we're talking about 75 units in NFL so far. I mean, with parlays and all that stuff. We've even hit a couple 5-unit ones week 1 and week 2. So NFL parlays. So, I know we didn't end it on a good note last night, but we still went 6-2 on straights. Still cashing 78%, but went 6-2 for 18 units plus 35 units in NFL parlays. I mean, can't beat it. So
no.
I would have loved to get that game yesterday. Trust me. There's not a one game I wanted more than that one last night. So but it was 13-6, 5 minutes to go in the third. It was looking good.
It was.
That 4th and 4, just going back to that play that he barely fucking got, and they snapped the ball quick. I would have probably just thrown the challenge flag. I mean, it was so fucking close. But
it was definitely worth an extra look.
But, that's kind of the play that, had they not gotten that, I think that likely would have been the game. But that's all these games. They come down to one play, one drive. That's how all these games end up. You look at the Colts game on Sunday. That really wasn't looking that good till the very end. The Dolphins wasn't looking that good till the very end.
Nope.
What's the? There's another big one. The Vikings.
Vikings for the parlay. Yep.
Fucking pulled out the W. So. A lot of these games, guys, just you don't know what's going to – the Broncos, you just don't know what's going to happen until the last 5 minutes. So it's just I even heard him talking last night. It was a record for most 3-point or less games or something in the NFL so far. There's been 18 or 30 of them or something, and it's a record for the first 3 weeks, games decided by 3 points or less or something. So.
Yeah, and you know what, man? We actually talked about that before the season. We touched on like the parity in the league and how, games are going to be close, and it's the NFL, man. These games are gross, and you're picking the right gross ones, which is good, man. Everybody's happy. Vibes are really good. It's nice to have everybody on a positive vibe, man. It's really been really cool to talk with everybody. We got Soccer 17 consistency, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, that's the message we're been pounding away here. I know some of you are probably getting sick of it, but it's true. You just got to be consistent. You never know when that 47 unit day is going to happen. And
Yep.
even before that, we did 35 units the 3 days before that, which
Yep.
puts us, we're still on a 70-some unit run here in the last 5 days. So
Yep.
I'd like to have a day today, a day tomorrow. And then Thursday, there's likely going to be another second 10-unit spot of the year. We hit the Browns last Thursday. Very interesting matchup this week. Not really going to talk about it much, but very interesting matchup with the Dolphins getting 3.5 against the Bengals.
Yep.
So nothing is official yet or nothing,
Sure.
Still got to know, is Tua playing, not playing? There's injuries on both sides. So
I think they're investigating his concussion. I think I saw something. They want to look
they said
into
he's
it.
just got a sore back and sore ankles or something. So we'll see.
Sure. But feeding off that consistency, 8 out of the last 11 weeks have been profitable. And, this is why we keep pounding it into everybody, because we do have a lot of new people hopping on that might not understand or get it, or, people that are already down and they're coming to us and they expect, 30, 40 unit days, and we might have a down day. And I'll just speak on this before, Mike, you go on it. A lot of these green weeks, guys, that you see up here, we were down probably at one point or another in that week. So that's why staying consistent, it's so important, because if you're going to commit to it, because at the end of the week, that's what really matters.
Yeah, like this past week, we were down, I don't even know, what was it, 20-some units or whatever?
I think it was around 24, 25, yeah.
And we ended the week up 60. I even had a $1,000 unit better hop on, unfortunately, last Monday, which was the week that we finished down 32 units. And after the week was over, he's like, sends me a message. He's like, hey, Mike, I was referred to you by somebody. I know you don't suck this bad, but like, I need a pep talk. What's going on? I'm just like, hey, man, I sent them the last weeks before that. I'm like, just be consistent. MLB is not normally this like it was last week for me either. You know what I mean? Right. So scaled back a lot on that. There are 4 spots I like quite a bit today. And then I like the card as like a parlay card too. There should be a couple big parlays today coming too. But I'll start posting MLB plays after the show. But yeah, just being consistent. So he finished down 32 units last week, or 2 weeks ago now. But last week finished up 60. So he went from being $32,000 in the hole to I think he made actually like 46 and some change, he said, last week. So now he's up 14, 15 grand. So
it's a beautiful thing.
And yesterday we had a down day. I only had one play. Everything was hinging on that. Had it cashed, we would have actually finished up 9.45 units because we had a 3-team parlay: Braves, Jays, and the Giants. So everything was riding on that play to have a green day. But
And you know what I noticed actually with the it was such a beautiful thing, because we hit the play of the year on the Browns, and we had so many new people and also people we haven't seen for a bit hop on for that play. We hit it, and then it seems like everybody's kind of been getting the message, and they came back, and then they had a huge weekend. So there's a lot of people actually that didn't even experience that down couple days in the early of the week. And now that's your guys' time to reinvest in the bankroll. And I know we posted a video, Mike, explaining how to, withdraw if you need to, or reinvest to up your units to make more money and stuff like that. I mean, now's the time really to reinvest if you're able to. And we got a comment here from Demon, if I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. Must have a huge bankroll, losing 32K.
He's a $1,000 unit better.
Right.
He's got close to a $200,000 bankroll, which to do $1,000 a unit, you need about $100,000 bankroll. So.
Exactly. So that's, so many people look at that, for example, they're like, oh my God, down 32,000. Well, that would be the same thing of $100 better being down 32 units. You got to come into the game. We always say that when anybody emails in 100 units.
If you have a $10,000 bankroll, it'd be the same as losing 3,200. So I know it sounds like a lot. I mean, it is, but
it is.
You have six figures to play with, so it is a lot, but it isn't. It's the equivalent of $3,200 on a $10,000 bankroll. So
yep.
But I lost 32 grand that week too. You know what I mean? But now I won 60 the week after, and I'm up 90 in the last 11. And if you do the math, it's an average of 8.14 units each and every week for 11 straight weeks. So for a $100 unit better, that's $810 profit average every single week for 11 straight weeks. If you're a $1,000 unit better, you've made $8,100 every single week for 11 straight weeks. That's what it averages out to be. And that's the shit that I'm trying to get through to some of you guys about being consistent. Having a down 32 unit week, yeah, it sucked. But guess what? The law of averages, you're still averaging $8,100 profit at $1,000 a unit each and every week for 11 straight weeks. And that's the numbers you guys got to start looking at.
Absolutely.
I've said this lots of times before. It's just like the stock market. Stock market might have a bad week where you lose some money, but if you've made $8,000 a week on the stock market every week for 11 straight weeks, that week really doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? It does, but it doesn't. You just got to look at more bigger picture thinking and longer term, and not just this week. Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So. And we always say it, and we'll keep saying it. You got to come in with the proper bankroll and manage your units properly. You know, we see so many people come in with $1,000 and they want to be $100 unit bettors, and they want to be $500 unit bettors. Oh, I'll just put my 1,000 on your best play of the day. Well, I mean, you could, and the PODs have been hitting like crazy, but still, I mean, there's a chance that day, say somebody hopped on yesterday with $1,000 bankroll, put the whole 1,000 on the Giants. Well, now you have nothing. So
and they'll be the ones chirping.
Exactly. So, down 32 units. Yeah, it is rough, but in the grand scheme of things, it just, it's, you got to come in with the proper bankroll. So it's like, okay, it's only 32 units. We have more. We're going to bounce back. We got our boy, Sam Herbert, in the house. Mike and Mike, the boys.
Yes, sir.
Strip club must have been fun on Sunday. I have a woman. No strip club for me.
You see Mike's comment?
Yeah, Big Mike right here. He asked for an extension on my weekly payment. I love it. I love it, man. We got Jake in the house. What up, fellas?
Yeah, thanks, man. And that's probably how I'm going to be attacking NFL going forward. We do have NBA starting here in a few weeks, like mid-October. So that's coming. But yeah, I mean, expect some bigger parlays like that every NFL Sunday, and mainly just NFL plays on Sunday. So we even had a plus Saturday. I think it was plus almost 10 units or 8 units, 7.99, I think, if I remember right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Notre Dame, big play on Saturday. We smashed that.
Yeah.
So, and hit a couple parlays. Astros came through for us late Saturday night. That was nice. So
absolutely, man. Absolutely. Money, crazy, Germ, Mike the GOAT.
I appreciate you, man. You got a stack.
Yes, sir. Sam, he needs some merch. Yes, we have to drop that on the website.
We were planning on getting that all figured out here when we're in Tampa, so we'll see.
So we will get some things finalized and get that stuff up on the website for you guys. So that will be a lot of fun. But this is your guys' chance to throw in any bankroll questions that you might have, any game questions that, you want Mike to kind of throw his 2 cents on if he can. So throw it in the chat like you guys always do. Wayne, he can't wait for a meetup. Any idea when?
Yeah, so, well, we got to figure out this NFL trip here. And I am going to the World Series October 28th, 29th in Los Angeles. Yeah, I said in Los Angeles because it's going to be there. I'm actually already booking my flights because I can get round trip flights right now for $250 before they actually make it. Flights go way up, and I can always change it. So I'm doing that. But yeah, Friday, Saturday, game 1, game 2 in LA. It'll likely be. I mean, it could possibly be this year. I mean, I'm going to give you a lot of heads up, but I'm thinking that we just do probably wild card weekend in January. That's kind of my thoughts. So it'd be in Vegas for the wild card playoffs, which would be a pretty fun time to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Vegas. So that will likely be it. I think that's last year was like around January 13th. Let's see when it is this year. But that'll likely be it. January 15th to the 17th. So that's what I'm thinking. But once I know for sure, I'll post something about that.
Yep. That will be a lot of fun.
December's hard. I mean, everyone's busy, holidays and all that stuff. November, you got Thanksgiving, hunting. Well, at least up here, people hunting shit. Deer
big
hunting, all that stuff. So,
yep.
Let's just plan on that more than likely. January 15th to the 17th in Vegas. So,
yep. Start the year off with a bang. How about it? I mean, games all day. It'll be an absolute blast to have some.
And we'll buy a table at the whatever sports book we're going to and all that stuff, or maybe actually buy a couple tables next to each other. I know. I just kind of want to get a head count of roughly how many people are coming.
Yeah.
Because last year did something similar last year at the Circus Sportsbook. We only had one table, and then we only could have so many people at the table. And I don't want any of that shit. So if I got to get 3 tables, I'll get 3 tables, 4 tables, whatever I got to do.
Right.
So, and I can book that way far in advance and get anything I want. So,
yep.
We'll probably post something up soon and then get a rough idea of a head count so I know how many tables to get, and we'll kind of have our own. I mean, depending on how many people come, we might have a whole fucking section there of just us.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's going to be a right way to do it, and that's the way we're going to do it. We're going to make sure, we have a rough head count, like Mike said, and, we'll figure out who's coming, who's not, and plan accordingly. But I think it's going to be an absolute
and watch every game and bet on every game, and it's going to be fun. So, do some big ass parlays.
Oh yeah, get your cash ready. Don't overspend on Christmas, people.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, yes sir. Here we go. Okay, fishy line on Thursday.
Public is all over the Bengals right now, but it's way early. The line's 3.5 actually on my book.
Yeah, I think
so.
I saw
and we've been on the Dolphins the last couple of weeks, and they've won outright both the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going Dolphins again. Maybe I'm pivoting, going to the Bengals at home. Good spot for them. I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know.
Well, I will say, I'll tell you guys a little story. So all week last week, Mike, I like the Cardinals. I think I like the Cardinals. I think I'm going to be on the Cardinals, bro. I think I'm going to be on the Cardinals. Sunday, I see the thing posted, Rams. I go, dude, what the fuck? He goes, dude,
well,
Rams.
My 4 initial spots were it was the Panthers, Bengals, Vikings, and Broncos. And then we had talked about the Colts a lot as well. Yeah. I like them. He hated them.
I like it. So here's the thing. I liked them in the beginning of the week because I said that the line was weird and it screams Colts. And then, like, a lot of people probably got scared the hell off of it. And they ended up taking the Chiefs because I just, my eyes told me the Chiefs are a better team. But, this is why you do what you do and I do what I do.
But I really like the Panthers, Cardinals, Falcons. I could have went like literally 9-2, 10-2 probably on Sunday, but I did put the Panthers in that big $15,000 parlay. I had them money line, Broncos money line. I did play the Bengals, in the parlay, all that stuff. But yeah, after seeing all the Bills had a ton of guys out. Playing in that heat in playing in the heat in Miami, coming from Buffalo. I love the Dolphins. I love the Colts and love the Broncos. So those were kind of my big 3 plays. I also like the Vikings. So I went 3-1 on those, and that's kind of how I do my parlays. I had 4 unit plays, or 3, and then plus the Broncos. So 3 4-unit plays plus the Broncos. So I put the Vikings money line in them, so didn't have to worry about covering the spread, just win at home.
Yep.
And then I love the Broncos. That was obviously my play of the day. And then paired up 1 parlay with the Colts, 1 parlay with the Dolphins. And yeah. And kind of, guys, why I had the Broncos in every single parlay too was to give people the opportunity, if it came down to it, to hedge. I know some people like to hedge, guarantee a profit, and that's cool. And it also gives us an opportunity, because it's the last game of the night, to, okay, here's what we got riding on this, here's what can happen. You can hedge, guarantee this, whatever. And you also have a chance to let it ride and get a huge fucking payday. And that's what we did. And we smashed it. And it was not pretty. It was not pretty. But
it was a baseball score, man.
11-10 final, like playing at Coors Field or something. So
now, have you ever had a bigger swing game? Have you ever had a bigger one?
No.
That was the biggest to date.
Yeah.
That's
I know with the previous brand, I had like a 40-unit day, but I think this was definitely my biggest day, because I made more than 47 too. I had extra on the Broncos, Colts, and Dolphins. Yep. So there's a small sports book like an hour away from me in Wisconsin. Like, you can't cross the lines, do anything on an app. You have to go there. Each ticket is $1,000 limit, but they let you do multiple tickets. Well, as soon as I do 2 or 3 $1,000 tickets, they move the line. And when I got there, being that it's so close to Minnesota, they had the Vikings at -7. So, and they can pick and choose games. They'll let you buy a half point and all that shit. They won't let you buy anything. So I didn't touch that. So I actually parlayed the Vikings money line with the Rams money line. That's how I played that at that book.
Right.
And then I hammered the Broncos, Colts, and Dolphins. And I'm not kidding you. I've only gone there 4 days now. Yesterday was the first day that I lost a bet there. I think I've taken an extra 40, 50 grand out of there over the last 4 or 5 days. So yeah, it's been fun.
They're gonna put your picture up behind the counter, and then they're gonna limit you. You're not gonna be able to bet there no more.
Well, I've just been putting extra on these PODs, is because they've been hot, and just riding it out every single day till we lost one. Well, we finally lost one last night. So, but yeah, I think last week was my biggest week ever. I made probably around 6 figures. So it was amazing, it was insane, because I do what I do on. I guess I am more than $1,000 unit better. I do what I do on my big book, and then I do the same thing on my smaller book. And then just for this past week, I was even doing more at driving to a book and putting even more on it. So
why not, man? I mean, we always say it, when you're hot, and ride it until the wheels fall off. And that's the perfect time to have a higher upswing than downswing, because the downswings are going to come. They always do. But
now I lost play yesterday. So now I'm just back to normal, except Thursday I'll probably drive there and put some extra on the 10 unit. And
sure.
Yeah.
Why not? So. And, I actually always tell clients that contact us, that say, hey, I want to put a little extra. What should I do? We always tell them, we're like, hey, if you want to put a little extra on a straight extra unit a day on the PODs or whatever, just if you want to be aggressive, I mean, that's probably the way to do it. And the parlays of the day, I mean, damn, those shit's got to be close to 50 units now, maybe over.
I think they're 58 or something.
57 or something like that, man. Just insane. Okay, we got a couple questions here.
Yeah.
Mike, if a line shifts, but his book has that -3.5, would you advise sticking with the -4 or spending up?
Hold up. Your bets have it -4 at minus. Your book has it. So your book has a better line.
Right.
No, I would take the better line at the cheaper price for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I actually found myself in that same situation this weekend. You had bought a half point or a point here and there. The only one I got screwed on was the Rams, but I ended up just taking it -3. But the Dolphins, it was like plus whatever it was. I had like -110, -105. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, the books are going to vary. Some of those, if it only costs 10 cents to go from +4 to +4.5, if I like Dolphins 4.5 -120, I'm going to do it just because 4 still is a key number. You see games that end in 4 points. And that 10 cents is the difference between cashing it and pushing it. So I'm just weird about key numbers in NFL. But with that being said, I also have, like Sam, for example, asked me, well, how come I'm not buying like the Chiefs game down to 2.5 or the Rams down to 2.5? There gets a point where doing that costs way more because that's really a key number that it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'll buy the half to -3 and pay a little bit of juice to do that, but I'm not going to lay -175 on playing -2.5. That just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So my thoughts on that is I'm at 3. So if it is a field goal game, like had the Cardinals there, scored a touchdown, it would have been a 3-point game. We would have pushed. I'm okay with that versus losing it. Right. But I'm not going to pay, they get beat outright. Now I just lost all this juice on a -170. I'm not doing that. So
no. But we have seen those in parlays. You do buy points and different stuff like that because, of the odd fluctuations. We've seen some.
Yeah, like the Colts, I think I had bought it whatever it was, 6, 7, whatever, about the Dolphins to 6. Yeah. And if you don't have a book where you can buy points, you should find one that you can, because I have 4 or 5 books and every single one will allow you to buy 2 points. Most cap it at 2. Some I can do whatever the hell I want, but
right.
But you gotta find a book. Most books allow you, or do an alternate line, they call it, or whatever. But every book allows you to buy points. Most of the time, it doesn't even come into play, anyways. Honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But sometimes it has.
The Chiefs, perfect example. We pushed. We had -3, and
I had money line and parlays.
Right. But that Thursday night game against the Chargers backdoored, but we had -3, so we pushed. So it does, come into play here. Dave Motorsports increased bankroll because of last week. Awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yes. So you increased your unit size?
Question. Okay. Both my books don't have money line for a game. What do you suggest?
When both my books don't have money line, like, are we talking? We must be talking NFL.
He's probably speaking on okay, so my 2 books that I have didn't have money line last night for the Broncos. They had it at -1.5 and then -1. One book would only let me buy it to a -0.5, and then the other book would let me go down to a pick 'em, but it was like -150 or something like that, -160. So I ended up going to DraftKings and I ended up getting the -115. But I mean, that's probably what he's talking about. Some of these books don't allow the money line; they take it off.
Then I'd buy to -0.5 or -1, and do it that way. But I'd also probably start getting other books just because it's important. Like that's what he did. He deposited $1,500 into DraftKings and played the Giants money line -115 because the other book had it way higher. So it pays to have multiple books for different sports, different things.
Absolutely. It really, really is big. Jarman, he let it ride. He got that big payday on the Broncos. Awesome, buddy. NHL preseason. And he plays.
Not touching any preseason.
No in regulations.
No. It's here though. It's coming. NHL and NBA. We have NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB playoffs. It's It's a great time of the year.
It is. This
I
is
want college
Christmas for
football,
us.
obviously. So.
We get Christmas for like 6, 7, 8 months out of the year, man. I mean, we just get them all these sports rocking.
Yeah, the summer of just baseball for a few months, that shit's over now. So
beautiful.
Football's back. Other stuff's coming. So
games on every day, multiple sports, got multiple TVs, rocking the laptop, the iPad, the iPhone, everything, man. We are busy. Miguel, we do a parlay of the day, sir.
I do one every single day. Some days have two.
Yep.
And the days I have two, it's mainly because two of the legs are the same and I'm doing a different third leg, to hit one of them. And like Sunday, we hit both of them. But yeah, I always have a parlay of the day. I had one last night. It was the Braves, Blue Jays, and Giants. So had the Giants won, we would have had a 9.45 unit night.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you can go check all the units and stats on those on the spreadsheet that's on the website. You can see I have all the names labeled so everybody can see what the hell is going on. I know it could get a little confusing. Playing minus 1.5 last night, not better than playing money line for the Giants.
Any spread like that, pretty much 2.5 and under. I take the money line. We saw it in that Texas A&M game. They won by 2. So if you took the -2, you pushed. If you took money line minus 120, you hit it. So little shit like that. I just pay the extra juice and let's just win the game, however it happens.
What I have noticed though is when you're taking a dog, predominantly, not saying it's every single time, but when you are taking a dog, even if it is a small spread, you'll take the spread. You'll take the point.
Sometimes, yeah. And then like this weekend though, I had one parlay that had the Broncos money line in it, that $15,000 one. That's why it paid so much, because it had the Panthers plus 110, the Broncos at even money, and then I think it was the Rams and Dolphins plus 6. But
Big Mike. Yeah, this is also a tactic too. If you want to wait to live bet it, I've seen that on some books. If they don't have the money line, you can wait to live bet it. But
if you only have 1.5, then I'd take it. I mean, if that's all you actually have, I mean, the odds of being, it's not good. It can happen. A 1-point game could definitely happen, and that would suck. But if that's all you got, that's all you got.
Now, would you play it for the same amount of units? Like last night, for example, 5U?
On 1.5, probably 4 units. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I would also just find a book that, it's an NFL game. You should be able to take a money line minus 120, no problem. You know what I mean? So.
Absolutely. I know I've done that a few times where nothing.
And even if you have a bookie, okay, that's fine. Well, take some cash and go find a book or deposit like he did to play it the way that it was supposed to be played. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is the name of the game there. Yes, Miguel, potentially for wild card weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very likely. Pretty much just plan on it, January 15th to the 17th. So
beautiful. And he did increase his unit size. Fantastic, man. That is the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. Now for every unit you make more money. So
absolutely, man. And and this is also something I think we should say too, is people that come in that don't have proper bankrolls. We see this quite a bit a lot, and I know I fell victim to this early on in my time being in this space. You decide to up your units. Say you go from 50 to 100, right? You have a down week. Now you're scared. Now you say, you know what? Now I'm going to go back down to 50. Okay, well, now you made all those units back technically on paper, right? But now you're still down because you lost $100 units, now 50. So now that you're there, stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, the question like that yesterday, like say you're at $100 units and then you have a down 30 unit week. Do you bump down your units? I'm like, no. You gotta keep everything consistent. So
Yep.
And if you look at the last 11 weeks, can you put that up again?
Yes, sir.
So okay, we had a plus 22 unit week, plus 14, plus 18, plus 10, and then we had a minus 22, a minus 13, and then a plus 17, plus 10, plus 8, minus 32. That was obviously the worst one out of all of them. And then a plus 60. So, yeah, it's scary losing 30 units in a week, but it's safe to say that's probably about as worst as it hopefully should be and would be. But this is the whole consistency thing. 8 out of 11. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
8 out of 11 in the green. So if you're consistent every day, every week, that's how you got to do this. I'm curious to see what I do in the last 6 months of the year, because you can take that off. I've been very open about, the last 2 years were phenomenal. I did 250 units last year, whatever. I had a very rough start to the beginning of this year. That's why it's funny when people come on and chirp and, oh, this dude lost 100 units to start the year, whatever. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I talk about it. I'm open about it. And I quit my job in January. I had a partner that there was 100 times more shit going on than you don't even have a clue. I'm just going to leave it at that. And it's not good stuff at all. And amazingly, now he's gone in the wind. I don't know. Yeah. So there's so much shit I was dealing with there, guys. You honestly, Mike knows, but nobody else does. And because I've never talked about it and I won't, but it was just bad. So dealing with all that, I quit my job, and we're also trying to launch a new brand because of everything that was going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to lie to you. I had a ton of shit going on. My head was not good at all because of this person. And it was bad. It was bad for a while. And one thing I can tell you now that I kind of learned from it, especially college basketball, like all this shit was going on. College basketball was going on. I was cold. I wasn't in a good mental space, and I just kept pressing. I just kept throwing plays out. Well, now you see me now in MLB. I had one cold week, and I'm like, pump the brakes, not doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still playing MLB, but I'm not going to be doing 6-7 MLB plays a day like I was while I was hot. You know what I'm saying? After that week last week and just a bunch of weird shit. So, but that's where I can say now that I'm learning and getting better and recognizing that versus just keep throwing shit out there to have, you know what I mean? No, if I don't like it, it's not going to be out there. And you got to recognize that shit's a little wacky. It's the end of the year. Some teams are motivated, some aren't. And you got to recognize that. So, and I feel I've talked about that. I've talked about, like I was even telling you, what game was it that I was saying that I would have been all over this team, but now because
was it Syracuse?
Yeah, the Virginia game where they almost won outright or whatever.
Yeah.
I was saying I probably would have had like a 3-unit play on Syracuse last year. Mm-hmm. So if you don't notice in MLB, I take pretty much mainly favorites. All right. It works for me. As far as the money stuff, I don't give a shit if 90% of the money is on this public MLB team. If I like them, I like the pitching matchup. I like the angle. I like the situation. I'm going to hit it. I don't care. But something that I've realized now in football, and that's what I used to do, is I used to cap football the same, where I didn't really, care about that stuff. Well, football, you kind of have to care a little bit. Not every game, there's like yesterday, I was on the public side, technically, the Giants, but there's been other games where we've been like the Broncos, where the Broncos were getting 20% of the money when I posted the play. And then I don't even know if you guys noticed this, but right before kickoff, an hour before kickoff, it went from 20% of the money to almost 50. It just got hit so hard by sharp bettors about an hour before kickoff. Yeah. But I handicap football now completely different than MLB. So like and that's pretty clear in the numbers now. I've made adjustments to how I do that. So I do MLB completely different. MLB, I'm mainly favorites. Yep. And NFL, I'm on more dogs, but I still take, small favorites and stuff too. But like last year, I did take the Packers -9.5 this year. That was the biggest spread I took by a lot. but you're not going to see as much of that from me as like I maybe did last year. So, and I think part of it too now is not working and this being all my work that I'm doing this full time. Like we were talking about that the other day, just having more time to actually do all this stuff. And now we're seeing results from that. So yes, I had a terrible start to 2021. And for the 100th time, I'm talking about it. And there's nothing I can do about that. But you know what? I didn't take my results page off of the website because of it. I'm still transparent. I think it's funny how I get chirped when I post a recap showing that I finished down 20 units in a day. Don't give a shit. I'm transparent. You're picking on a guy who's transparent, who posts it publicly that I lost 20 units yesterday.
Yep.
Versus not picking on a guy that doesn't post his results because he's down 800 units, but just totes fucking plays of the year every other day. Right. It's fucked up to me how people are like that, but it's that's what it is. But I don't know.
Beautifully said. That was a beautiful, beautiful soliloquy, Mike. It needs to be said, though. It really, really needs to be said because, there's a lot of people that don't understand, or some people, kind of scared. South throwing this in here. Thanks for speaking on it. He saw a lot of red months. The transparency is there and things are turning around and, they have turned around and the consistency is back and the mental space is back. The constant knowledge is changing and you're recognizing that. And we did talk about that where you have more time to sit down and recognize all that stuff now that this is your full-time job. And I think that is so big. It really is so big that you're able to sit there and recognize it. And I mean, God, guys, this is all this man does. This is it. It is 24/7, 365. He sleeps about 3 hours a night. I don't know. I don't know what type of energy you got, man. If you got Red Bull just being pumped in your blood, I don't know what it is, but he loves what he does. He wants to make you guys money. You guys know that. And, Brandon, we see your comment. We're not going to throw it up, but, things were rough in the beginning of the year. And now we're on a really great track and people are excited again. People are believing again in what we do. And, I think we're all happy to be a part of it. And the big season's just starting up, man. The big season.
Yeah. And if you look at the last 11 weeks now, we're up 90 units in the last 11 weeks.
Yeah.
And trust me, I barely look at that results page. I think I did yesterday for the first time in months. Mm-hmm. But just know in my head, I can't wait to have that fucking thing lit up like a motherfucking green fucking Christmas tree. So it's coming. But unfortunately, it takes some time. I did a lot of damage in the beginning of the year, a lot of shit going on, not an excuse, just being transparent with you. But I'm not going to take down the results page. People can talk their shit. That's fine. And in a few months, by the end of the year, when that motherfucker's lit up, then it's time for me to talk my shit. So until then, I'll just keep doing my thing, keep grinding away and keep making money, keep being consistent. So we're going to have our 9th green week in the last 12 weeks this week, which 9 green weeks in 12 weeks, even 8 out of the last 11, which we've already done. That's pretty fucking good. And that's the definition of consistency. So
it's back, baby. It is back. Job's not
feels
finished.
Good.
And it feels good. And everybody is on a very positive vibe and positive outlook on things. And I think that's what's really big. And we've had a lot of new people, or like I've said before, we had a lot of new people or people that, were with us in the beginning of the year and they kind of, tailed away. Now they're back for the big sports. So I think that's really exciting for them to be back on at the best time it could possibly be.
And like I told a guy on Twitter, he's like, was talking about the results and all that stuff. And I'm like, I explained everything that I just explained to you. I said, well, the 2 years prior to that, I mean, last year documented 250 units. The year before that, nothing was really documented, but I was giving away stuff for free. And that's how I gained pretty much my whole following was on Instagram, just posting plays for free every day.
Right.
So I don't have anything documented from that, but it was a great year. So really the only bad time was the first 4 or 5 months of this year. And here's what was going on during that time. Again, it's no excuse. But if you knew just a little bit of what was going on, you'd be like, I guess I can understand. So,
right.
But if you look after that now, after we launched, if I washed away at him, all that shit, right. It's been good. And it's been like normal. It's just like it was last year. So actually probably better.
And you know what, guys? This is you can hear Mike speak about it, and everything like that, and that's good for everybody to understand. But also, I mean, this is an example of proper bankroll management. Hammer it again. I mean, he was down. He made a lot of money last year, but he was down early in the year, and clients were down, but people still believed and everything like that. But he had the bankroll and didn't go crazy, didn't increase units, trying to make units back. Just stayed with the system, trusted in his ability, trusted in his own talent. And look, we're climbing back. And I believe that the sheet is damn near close to even now, or positive just by a little bit with the parlays and stuff like that as far as a brand. So since March, that's really great. But proper bankroll management, just because you go down doesn't mean you can't climb back. You just have to have the proper bankroll and the proper unit system. And it's very hard for the public to win, which is why we exist. So, trust in Mike to help you climb back. Just be patient, just be patient with it. You see the graphic, we also have a comment here. Plus 10 unit week is humble. I mean, even if it's only 9 units, 10 units, 8 units, 5 units, it all adds up over the course of time. So just stay consistent and ride with this, baby.
Let's go. Today I'll probably have 4 MLB plays,
4
plus a few parlays, 3, 4.
You got a free play you want to bless the chat with?
I'll have a free play posted here shortly.
Okay.
I gotta kind of finish grading stuff here, so before I give one away, I don't want to give away the play of the day. So
beautiful, man. All right, that pretty much concludes the show, guys. Mike, you got any closing notes before we sign off?
No, I will have a free play posted, as I said yesterday, in the Chalkboard and Telegram. If you don't know about it, go to the MidwestMikeSports.com, top of the homepage. There's a big white banner. Click the link. Yep. Chalkboard is more for Apple users. The Telegram, you can just search Midwest Mike Sports. That's more for the Android users. Yep. So yeah, I'll have a free play for you. Let's have a day. We got 2 days MLB here, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then football's back Thursday for 5 days. So buckle up.
Buckle up. Giddy up.
But at the same time, I want to have a couple good days here with MLB and just get a nice flow to the week going, get some momentum going into Thursday, and then just start hammering just like we did last week. Because that's when the hammer started, was Thursday.
Yeah. So, and we laid it down good.
35 units until Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 35 units, and then 47 on Sunday. So let's do that shit again.
Let's fucking do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys make the show what it is. As always, invest wisely, live